Welcome, all my Sagittarius souls, both the seasoned stargazers and those freshly galloping in on curiosity from wherever you are in the world, or in your journey. You've just stepped into the sacred space of Zodiac Talks Tarot, where we don't do fluff, fortune cookies, or one-size-fits-all horoscopes. We decode cosmic energies with soul, wisdom, and just the right amount of sass. And Sagittarius, this message is written in the stars just for you. So if you've been feeling that weird flutter in your chest, like excitement wrapped in confusion, or maybe even a suspicious tingle that had you googling symptoms of spiritual awakening at 2 a.m., don't worry, you're not having a nervous breakdown. That's the energetic portal opening. And yes, it's real. Let's talk June 6th. This date is not just another page on the calendar, it's a vibrational gateway, a cosmic now hiring sign for big, beautiful shifts. In numerology, the number 6 hums with the frequency of unconditional love, healing, and harmony. But we're not talking about Instagram love or Hallmark movie clichés. No, this portal opens the door to soul deep, ego-dissolving, karmic realignment kind of love, the kind that makes your shadow flinch and your inner child finally feel safe enough to dance barefoot in the rain. For many of you, especially those in the tribe of the chosen ones, this isn't just about meeting the one. It's about becoming the one who no longer needs to chase, prove, or settle. It's about wholeness. When you align with your truth, love doesn't need directions. It finds you. This love portal stays active for 6 full days. In human time, that might seem short. But cosmically, that's a full-blown spiritual bootcamp with no breaks and no refunds. This is your moment to hydrate like you're training for ascension, dust off your favorite crystals, and prepare your heart, not your dating profile. Because what's coming in isn't just romantic. It's relational. It's the relationship you have with your higher self, your purpose, your path. Now, speaking of signs from the universe, enter the dragon. No, not the martial arts legend, though Bruce Lee did move like someone fully aligned with cosmic chi. I'm talking about your spirit animal this cycle. The dragon came through, not as some cute cartoon sidekick, but as a fierce, winged guardian of transformation. And here's the message it carries: stop forcing. Start flowing. You don't need to squeeze yourself into timelines, push people into potential, or chase anything outside of yourself. Dragons don't beg. They fly. Spirits telling you lovingly, but firmly, to stop over-strategizing your life like it's a chess match where the winner gets love, success, or inner peace. No more trying to earn your way into joy. You don't need to prove you're worthy of what's already yours. What you do need is to show up as your real, unfiltered, divinely messy self. Because let's face it, pressure builds resistance, not miracles. So drop the emotional armor, Sag. This isn't the time for overthinking or perfectionism. This is the time for showing up, heart first, flaws and all. And hey, if you accidentally cried in the produce aisle this week or felt unusually tender while watching a cat video, just know you're not broken. You're becoming. This portal is your cosmic permission slip to be more you than you've ever dared to be. And that, dear Sagittarius, is where the real magic begins. Let me tell you something, Sagittarius, and I say this as someone who's spent more time reading star charts than checking their own texts. You're not imagining it. When the universe starts nudging you toward the trees, it's not just about getting your daily steps in. Spirit is practically shoving you into nature's arms right now, so yes, go hug a tree. Sit in the grass. Stare at a cloud until it stares back. This isn't just about fresh air and bug bites. It's about alignment. The forest, whether literal or metaphorical, is where your energy gets recalibrated. It's where the noise quiets down just enough for you to hear what your soul's been whispering for weeks. And here's the thing, once you step back into that grounded, earthy rhythm, something wild happens. You'll start seeing divine synchronicities lining up like your life is being curated by the universe's top playlist editor. We're talking cosmic breadcrumbs, dreamlike déjà vu, even accidental encounters that feel suspiciously scripted. Why? Because timelines are converging. Yours and someone else's. Maybe it's a twin flame. Maybe it's a soulmate. Maybe it's your future self finally catching up with you. But if you're one of the chosen ones, and if you're reading this, you probably feel it first in your chest. That strange, heart-humming sense that something big is walking toward you, and it knows your name. But here's where the plot twist comes in. This isn't just about romantic unions. It's about the sacred union within, between your values and your actions, your mind and your heart. The Lover's card has entered the chat, and it's not just asking, who's your person? It's asking, who are you becoming? Because the bigger your vision, the more important your choices become. And let's be honest, if your brain has been spinning like a hamster on caffeine, that's not clarity. That's resistance dressed up in logic. My advice, from years of watching planetary chaos play out in real people's lives? Guard your mind like it's sacred ground. Because it is. What you think shapes what you allow. And when you're trying to align with divine timing, nothing derails you faster than obsessive overthinking. Trust what your heart already knows. You don't need to solve it, you just need to feel it. And sometimes, the most radical clarity comes not when you chase answers, but when you're still enough to hear the truth rise from within. Preferably somewhere in a forest. With squirrels. Ah, the Page of Cups. That sweet, wide-eyed archetype with their heart in one hand and a fish popping out of a chalice in the other. Now, don't get distracted by the odd imagery, it's symbolic, not seafood. What this card is really whispering to you, Sagittarius, is simple: come back to your beginner's heart. Something new, whether it's a budding relationship, a surprising passion, or a once unthinkable life path is unfolding. And you're not supposed to meet it with your arms crossed and your trauma resume in hand. Nope. You're being asked to show up with curiosity, vulnerability, and dare I say, hope. As someone who's spent years decoding human behavior and birth charts, I can tell you hope is not naive. It's actually a very advanced spiritual move. The Page of Cups doesn't want you to be perfect. It just wants you to be present. Show up as you are, but come full. Full of your own energy, your own self-worth, your own love. And please, for the love of Venus, don't go pouring from an empty cup. I've done that before. Once ignored this energy and ended up dating a Scorpio musician who only communicated in cryptic lyrics and moody playlists. Let's just say it took 3 full moons and a therapy session to realize he was breaking up with me, via interpretive dance. Trust your intuition. Now, speaking of spirals, let's talk about the 5 of Swords. If your brain's been running mental marathons lately, revisiting old betrayals and catastrophizing future scenarios that haven't even happened, you're not broken, you're in a mental loop. And that loop is just your nervous system doing its best to protect you from change. Breathe. Seriously. Put your hand on your chest. Inhale slowly. You are not failing. You are recalibrating. Like when your GPS freaks out and says, recalculating, that's what's happening. Don't judge it. Just don't live in it. And let's clear up a common misconception: boundaries are not walls. I repeat, boundaries are not walls. Sagittarius, you've done the work. You've been through the fire, gathered your red flags like trophies, and now you're hyper-aware of every little energy shift. That's great. But don't get so good at protecting yourself that you accidentally block the very thing you've been calling in. You're not here to build a fortress. You're here to create a sanctuary. There's a difference. One is about fear. The other? About trust. So here's the cosmic truth: you are protected. Not in a fragile, bubble-wrapped way, but in a universe has your back kind of way. Stand in your truth. Be soft where you've been hardened. Set your boundaries with love, not with a flamethrower. You're allowed to be discerning and open. The blessings are on their way and they're not trying to break you. They're trying to meet you. You ever meet someone and feel like you've known them forever, but not in that "we both hate small talk and love iced coffee" kind of way? I'm talking about that soul recognition, goosebumps on the back of your neck kind of knowing. That's not déjà vu, darling. That's a soul contract showing up in real time. And if you're Sagittarius, chances are the universe has been preparing you for this moment for a few lifetimes now. Seriously. The person who's catching your eye or perhaps already tugging at your emotional solar plexus may not be new at all. They might be a familiar soul, showing up in a brand new body, ready to stir you awake. You could have been lovers in Atlantis, monks in Tibet, or even bitter rivals in a past life debate club. Spirit has a wild sense of humor like that. The roles shift, but the lessons stay sacred. So when you meet someone who doesn't just make your heart race but makes your spirit lean in, pause. Don't just analyze it. Feel it. This is what I call a chosen one connection, not always easy, but always essential. These people don't just walk into your life. They show up to shake loose the parts of you that forgot they were divine. Sometimes they teach through love. Sometimes through chaos. Either way, it's curriculum. Now, let's talk about that L word. Whether you're calling in a soulmate, a summer romance, or something you can't quite name yet, love is definitely in the forecast. But this isn't the kind of love you can swipe into existence. You have to align with it. The kind of relationship that's coming in doesn't care about your filtered selfies or how many likes you rack up. It's attracted to your energy, your real energy. So the invitation isn't to try harder. It's to be truer. Be more of yourself than you've ever dared to be, and you'll become magnetic to the kind of connection that's been looking for you, too. And as the cosmic tides rise, especially on June 6th, 15th, and 24th, remember, the portal isn't demanding control, it's asking for trust. It's not about fixing every detail or predicting every outcome. It's about flowing with what shows up, with humor, grace, and maybe a deep breath or two when Mercury decides to stir the pot. So laugh when plans change. Forgive quickly, especially when it's yourself you need to forgive. And above all, choose love, not the fluffy, fairytale kind, but the steady, soul-aligning kind, even when your mind tries to logic its way out of joy. The path forward is already paved in meaning. All you have to do is walk it with an open heart. If you're in a relationship right now, Sagittarius, whether it's a decades-deep commitment or the kind that's still awkwardly figuring out whose Netflix account to use, this is not your cue to cut and run. It's your opportunity to reset. I don't mean pretending the problems never happened or slapping on a cute couple's photo to cover the cracks. I mean real reset. The kind where you both stop mid-scroll, look up, and actually see each other again. Wipe the slate, not the partner. Relearn each other's rhythms. Ask new questions. Give different answers. Who knows? You might just find out your person has evolved and so have you. And that's not a threat. That's a blessing in disguise. Because sometimes the person you need to fall in love with again, is the version of them that's standing right in front of you. Now let's talk about that warrior heart of yours. Yes, I know you like to laugh things off and joke your way through uncomfortable emotions, classic Sagittarius, but make no mistake, you've been forged in fire. And you didn't survive heartbreak, breakdowns, and cosmic reroutes just to settle for a lukewarm life. That ache you've been feeling? That friction in your soul? It's not weakness. It's refinement. Spirit is polishing the blade of your purpose, shaping you into someone who doesn't just chase dreams but builds legacies. And yes, some days it feels like you're being pushed beyond your limits, but here's the truth, that pressure is producing a diamond. You. And now, we must talk about Alice, she who grants wishes. If you've been sending out prayers, vision boards, or 3 a.m. manifestations with more glitter than grounding, here's your gentle cosmic wake-up call. Be careful what you wish for, because it's en route. Spirit isn't Amazon Prime, it doesn't deliver in 2 days, but it does deliver exactly what you're aligned for. So here's the real question, are you ready to receive, or are you still just romanticizing the idea of receiving? Let me tell you a story true and recent. One of our readers manifested her dream home after years of waiting. She wanted sunshine, trees, peace. And guess what? The home showed up not when she chased it, but when she finally aligned her life with the version of herself that could live in that peace. The delay? It wasn't denial. It was divine choreography. Sometimes the universe is just waiting for you to stop clinging to plan B so it can hand you your plan A. If you're ready to take this work deeper, try these journaling prompts. Trust me, they're more revealing than 1,000 horoscopes. 1. What is the underlying reason for your desire? Is it expansion, or is it escape? 2. What are you willing to do for your wish? Not in a hustle culture way but in a soul commitment kind of way. 3. Where in your life could you use just a little more hope? And before we wrap, let's address the elephant in the spiritual room, angel number 666. No, it's not satanic. Please delete that horror movie association from your mind. In truth, 666 is a sign to nurture your soul, honor your boundaries, and declutter your spirit. It's the cosmic version of your phone saying, you're out of storage. Make room. And believe me, something beautiful is waiting to be downloaded into your life. So here's my final word for you, Sagittarius. From the cosmic core of Zodiac talks tarot to the fire in your own wild heart, this portal is no joke. The universe is rearranging itself not to punish you, but to match the version of you that you finally believe in. The only thing it's asking from you? Say yes. Say yes to growth. Say yes to love. Say yes to the version of you that scares you because it feels so true. And if any of this sparked a realization, a laugh, or a much-needed sigh of relief, don't keep it to yourself. Like this message. Share it with your fellow wanderers. Subscribe to our channel Zodiac Talks Tarot if you haven't already, because this soul journey, it's better when we walk it together. Until next time, Sagittarius, trust the process, follow your fire, and walk like the chosen one you were always meant to be. Now go live boldly, laugh often, and love like you've never been burned. Because let's be honest, you probably have been. And yet you're still here, still glowing. That, my friend, is divine magic.